A question I get asked a lot: how are you so confident? And if there's one thing that I feel a lot of people struggle with, is confidence in themselves. Not only is it confidence in themselves, but the way that they come off to the world, right? A lot of people don't come off as confident. And because of that, I feel when you do come across a confident person, it can be intimidating. Like a lot of people, men, women, they've told me or I noticed that they're very intimidated by me, but I'm a very nice person. So with time, I've had to be like, you know what? It's not that I'm intimidating, it's that you're intimidated, right? But then that has to do with you. It has to do with the other person, not with me. So let's talk about it. Like I said, a question that I get a lot is, how are you so confident? So I want to list the ways that in my mind I feel are what makes me come off as confident, and then what also makes me feel confident, right? Because it's not just about how people see you. You can see someone that seems confident, but once they open their mouth, you realize, yeah, you don't have that much confidence in yourself, right? But it's rare that you see someone that doesn't seem confident who is confident. So it's kind of like it doesn't work both ways, but let's talk about it. So, at least for myself, I feel first of all, it starts in the home, right? Because my daddy, he's a very confident man. My mom, she's also very confident in herself. So my dad has this walk where he just looks like he means business, right? And then my mom has this posture to her where she just knows that she's a queen. Like she's always had this posture to her, right? Like I said, his walk, it means business. And my mom's posture is just like head up, shoulders back, right? And like she just knows who she is. But it doesn't always start at home. Not everyone has that at home, right? So, how can you build this confidence on your own? First and foremost, let's talk about appearance, okay? When I was younger, when I was out in the streets of Chicago playing and doing stuff I wasn't necessarily supposed to be doing, I used to be out there playing around. And, back in the day, in the early 2000s, it was like a lot of girls were hardcore tomboys, and I was definitely one of them, right? So I was out there playing with the guys, playing with some girls, whatever. And we all had this posture where it was like it was cool to just like, you know, you're hanging with your boys, you're whatever. And I think I've seen even JLo still does it. Like when she takes pictures with rappers or stuff like that, she doesn't have that, red carpet look on. It's kind of very like you're hanging with the boys, right? So what does that mean? Your posture, right? You round your back, you round your spine. It just makes you seem a little more chill, a little more gangster, right? And so I did that when I was younger. And I have pictures from like my prom. I won't show you guys. I don't want to show you guys. I had a dress on and I still had that lean, like that rounded back. And I really do believe that it wasn't until I started working out, right? It wasn't until I started working out at the gym and really working out my muscles, really being serious and being like really being serious and holding myself accountable to working out daily and getting my muscles together, right? That I started noticing that as you're working out, I don't want to be too scientific about this because I don't know the science behind it all. But as you're working out, your muscular system is in charge of literally holding up your skeletal system, right? So just imagine you're working out your lats, you're just working out your back. You start building that posture. Your muscle starts holding up your skeletal system better than before, right? So that became a thing for me. Where as I started working out, I just noticed that my posture started improving. I would start working with my shoulders back. Also, endorphins are great. They make you feel amazing, right? So I started walking with my shoulders back, holding my head up even more. And just as your posture starts improving, it also gives you a sense of confidence, right? It's a huge one. And so that became a thing for me. And just go search up people that work out, and you'll notice that their posture is a lot better than people who don't work out. And they just seem more confident. Okay. So that's one. Two, and it all depends on what you believe in, but it's a huge one for me, right? If you don't believe in God, you may skip through this one and go to the next one. I always go back to going through my depression, right? Through that stage in my life where I went through depression and anxiety and coming out of that, right? But apart from doing the work on myself, I turned to God so much, so much. And it just made me realize at that moment, I decided to believe for myself because of signs that I would see because of synchronicities and because of the peace that he brought into my life. I firmly believed and believe to this day that I walk with a higher power. There's this saying that goes, if God is with me, who can be against me? So it's that security, right? It's that sense of reassurance that I'm not alone and that he's with me at all times. That's a huge one for me because it's like I could be walking in the dark outside, right? And yeah, it can be dangerous. And yes, it can bring fear because you never know who could be out there, what could happen. But I also know God is with me, right? I don't put myself in situations like that often because why would you, right? But it's like if it does happen, I'm just like, nombre del Padre y del Espíritu Santo, Diosito, walk with me. I know that you're with me at all times, and I know you're going to protect me through this. Please get me home safely, right? Because that's my team, right? That's who I'm with at all times. And I have full faith and I have full trust that I am protected. That's the second one for me, and that's one of the most important. I feel like everything that I'm talking about is really important, but that to me is like very grounding. And then the third one, which is more about self. Unfortunately, in life, you're going to go through a lot of stuff, right? Difficulties, trials and tribulations, just hard things, okay? And you can either choose to stay down or you can choose to get up. You can choose to continue going through the pain of staying down, or you can choose to go through the pain of pulling yourself up and out of that darkness, which is gonna hurt too. But the thing is that when you do decide to get up, you know that there's gonna be a light at the end of the tunnel, right? There's more of a possibility of that light at the end of the tunnel. And when I tell you that it's there, it's there, okay? Because I've been there, I've done that, and I've pulled myself, me and God have pulled me out of situations that I didn't think I could get over. When I tell you, when I went through my depression, I talked to a lot of people, and all I wanted was reassurance that it was going to be okay, that you don't have to live your life like this. And I didn't get it anywhere. Okay, like I spoke with so many people, and I was like, have you gone through this? Or they would tell me, I've gone through depression. I am in depression. You just learn to live with it. I said, no, no, this is not going to be my life, okay? Nothing against anyone that chooses to live that way, but it's not gonna be me. Regardless of what kind of work it took, I was gonna do it because I owe it to myself. As I started working, as I started journaling, as I started listening, like go check out the last video, what you listen to and what you watch matters, right? And I eventually, by the grace of God, I got myself out of there. And when you get out of something like that and you look back and you're like, holy crap, I did it. That builds so much confidence. Confidence is about self, okay? And when you look back and you're like, oh my God, I came this far, I didn't stop, I pushed through, it makes you proud of yourself, right? It makes you feel like, damn, I did that. And if I did that, what can't I do? You know what I mean? If everyone that I talked to told me that they couldn't make it out of that and they've learned to live with it and I said hell no. And I feel so much better. It's possible, guys. I did it. If I did it, you can do it, and you have that confidence in yourself. Pushing through difficult times and coming out a stronger version. And it kind of sucks that you have to go through these difficult times to come out stronger in the end, because who wouldn't want to just live a beautiful life, right? But unfortunately, I think Tony Robbins said this: weak people create difficult times. Difficult times create strong people, and strong people create something else. But whatever. Like, that confidence is strength. It's endurance that you had to go through. You had to fight to get to that point. If confidence was something that you could give to people, that you could hand to them, it wouldn't be appreciated, right? But when you struggle, when you go through things, when you come out, when you're finally above water and you can breathe and you realize, I did this, I didn't give up on myself, man, does that build confidence. And so when you come across someone that not only seems confident but is confident, that's big. Do you see what I'm saying? And so people tell me, how are you so confident? How are you? And I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm confident in every single aspect or in every single thing that happens in my life. No, I'm still very weary sometimes. I still can be fearful. I still get nervous. But regardless of any situation that I'm going into, I walk in with God first. Like I literally be like, talk for me, speak for me. I don't know how this is gonna go, but I have full faith that what's meant to be is gonna happen. What isn't won't. You know what I mean? Like you just have to have that faith in God. You have to have that faith in yourself that whatever happens, I can get myself out of it. I can get right back up. I feel, at least for me personally, those are like the main things, right? My family, working out to better your posture, right? God, and knowing that no matter what happens, I can always rely on myself because I've done it in the past, right? I've been through moments where I was in dark places. I did not know if I would make it out. Let me not say that. I did doubt that I would get better, but somewhere deep inside I knew that I was going to make it out because it's me and because I got my back. Later down the line, if I were to ever have children, which I don't plan on, but I would like to maybe adopt in the future. I Not only is it for me, but I also want them to grow up with that instilled in them, right? Like I look at my dad and I look at my mom, and it's like they were my foundation. They are my foundation, you know? And it's a solid foundation, and I have confidence in that, you know? So it's like my niece, my nephew, you're growing up in an environment of confidence, right? And I want to pass that on to you. So it's like, it's not just about me, you know? And then when people come across me, when people meet me, if they seem intimidated, I'm a very kind person. I'm a very nice person, right? Confidence can seem intimidating. Confidence can be intimidating, but it's not a me thing, it's a you thing where you need to build your confidence for yourself. And I'm here. If you have any questions, if there's anything that you need to know, I'm right here. You can always talk to me. Because I had a friend tell me, like, when you walk in somewhere, you command the space. You know what I mean? Like, your presence is felt when you walk into a room, and you just never seem nervous. That's not true. I get nervous a lot. You know, I get nervous a lot, but I have worked on myself a lot as well, to where I know that anything that comes my way, I can handle it. If you have any questions about building confidence, keep in mind that confidence is all about self. Work on yourself. If you believe in God, turn to God. God's got you. You've got you. Have no doubt in that. Have that self belief that no matter what comes your way, you're going to figure it out. And get to working out. Working out is so important for so many reasons, but you've got this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye.